Welcome again to the Rick Helps Real Estate Show with my good friends at ZOODEALIO. How's everybody doing today?
Hey, Rick. Hey, Rick. I'm doing great. I'm about a 9 out of 10 today. Wow.
It's a high score.
It's a high score. I had a great coaching call this morning with some phenomenal agents. I think that 2026 is going to be a cool, interesting year for real estate. So I'm feeling good.
I agree. I think it is. It's going to be slower than all get out between now and the first of the year. Q1 is going to be very interesting. There's, the government is back open. I mean, last I heard, so we're going to have some data flowing at us now, but it's not going to be like the jobs numbers are probably not going to be very accurate. So it's going to be, the bond market's going to go, oh, that's good. No, wait. Oh, it's going to be really
day to day.
Yeah, it's been so interesting.
So, and I like that. I like things kind of bouncing around, shaking up a little bit. But I wanted to, Zillow's being sued again, a class action lawsuit for RESPA violations. And a lot of this stuff, the average buyer or seller, they have no idea what's going on. I don't even know what a RESPA violation is. How would you define a RESPA violation?
What does RESPA stand for?
Real Estate Settlement Procedure Act.
Well, we know. Yeah. But to Rick's point,
that's why I was
seller buyer. Like it's an acronym that means RESPA. Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially it's an act that they want consumers to have choice. And so, I mean, if I just had one lender and that was my lender, and if you wanted to do business with me, I'm only going to refer you to one lender. They could slap me upside the head. I got one title company. It's my title company. And, but Zillow seems to have wormed its way around in a sneaky way. And what they've done is they've got this preferred agent program. Now, agents spend thousands of dollars a month to get in front of, 300 million eyeballs a month on Zillow. They've won the visibility game, best website. And so you're spending all this money so that you can capture some buyers and sellers from their site. You have to pay them a referral fee if you get there from that. That's fine. Everybody does that. That's not a RESPA violation. But then Zillow comes out and says, we will reward agents that have a high success rate of referring buyers to our mortgage company.
And that's the no-no.
And that would be a RESPA violation.
They're rewarding you. But what they're not saying in there that they're doing is if you're not giving them a very good percentage of those buyers to their lenders, they're not sending you any more leads. And yet here you are paying $1,000 a month to get the leads. And they're like, Rick's no good at this. Just please don't send him there anymore.
Yeah. And Rick's been throttled down.
I've been throttled down. Now I heard an example of now, if I have a contract with Zillow, I can't cancel it. Has a beginning date, has an end date. This agent called and said, hey, I spend $1,800 a month with you guys. I've sent you all these, these deals. But you guys sent me an email saying that I'm not sending enough of them to your preferred mortgage company, your lender, and you're going to start cutting me back. They canceled her contract. Boom.
Ooh. Wow. So did that cut out the $1,800 a month in spend that she was?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So she at least got alleviated of her monthly expenditure. Which is
but
good.
don't question the giant.
That is the takeaway. I mean, Elliot, you have a saying about the devil's greatest lie was that
one existing. The devil's greatest lie is telling or am I reading it? Wow. The devil's greatest lie is proving the world that he never existed.
Yes.
So
it's like Zillow's the all powerful.
Well, and they're incredibly powerful right now. And, I've never really at first had a problem with Zillow when I listen to agents complain about it. Hey, look, they won. Just, embrace it, figure it out. We've seen other brokerages and stuff. I'm going to create this great website that's going to knock Zillow off their throne. Well, no, you're not.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Not happening.
There's superior websites. like my personal opinion is Redfin is far superior from a user interface and like understanding. But again, the traffic that's generated is your 100 million versus 300 million. It's when you look at that in the grand total of traffic, that's not even, there's no competition.
I like using Zillow more than Redfin.
I like
Do you?
Zillow. I like Zillow more than Redfin too.
Yeah.
See, this is where the opinions come into play.
It's like Apple and Android.
Yeah.
But you know, doesn't the government do
things? Is there was also an example of a lender that's now a Zillow lender. You have no idea who they are. You don't even know what state they're in. You're referring it to their lender. It's not like you're getting, your local lender that you work with that that's in Arizona. You're getting somebody somewhere. You referred it out. The agent has no idea who they are. They're in a cubicle somewhere. And this lender told the agent, stop sending me these crap buyers. None of them qualify and quit wasting my time. Now, if your local lender said that, how long would you keep them?
Yeah, never again.
And that's surprising that a lender would say that. Usually they just, if it's a crap buyer.
But think about the lender that is. If it's the Zillow lender, they're probably getting cream of the crop. They're getting, they're getting like at bats that are phenomenal constantly. Which interesting though, because their mortgage revenue continues to grow, like shareholder report after report. It's just growing. And so this lawsuit kind of coincides with their revenue growth in mortgages. But like what I find hard to believe, Rick, and something that we were chopping up is that the buyer that filed this class action lawsuit was in Anchorage, Alaska. Like you're telling me that a buyer out of Anchorage, Alaska, it just like decides
on their own.
Yeah. No way.
Maybe it was like
this fishy. Is this political?
Season.
Is political? I mean, doesn't the government do? I mean, there's pay to play everywhere, right? I mean, there's like you got healthcare. I mean, you got all these doctors that go on these lavish, vacations and stuff like that. Conferences they call
pushing
them.
a certain drug,
and and then they push certain drugs, and I mean, so all like every industry does this kind of stuff. Even at the government, I mean, the government contracts and stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's all sorts of.
Well, what do you think influencer social media is?
Yeah,
right. It's the same. It's the same kind of thing.
Yes, I recently on my Instagram, I guess like I hit a new threshold and I've been invited to their creator marketplace. And so I can go on and like all of these things I can like say, okay, I'll make 6 reels from you and they'll pay me like $300 or whatever. And it can be a product that I've never even used. And it'll tell me exactly what it wants me to do, the shots, the scene, what it wants me to say, how it wants me to use the product. And then it just looks like
pays you.
It looks like I just organically am sharing with you something great that I love, and it's just all BS. Yeah.
Well, I think there's 2 parts of this too, because this is consumer led, and what is the consumer really worried about? Because really, if there was a class action lawsuit against Zillow, you'd think it'd be brought on by realtors. Like what?
You would think so.
You're throttling me down. I'm paying. Come on. You're forcing me to use your lender. You're forcing me to use your title company. They've got enough cash in the bank. I think they have 1.4 billion. They can, here's 65 million. Let's settle. So I don't know where it's going to go, but it always amazes me that it's a consumer or a buyer that's launched the class action law. There's somebody behind that.
There absolutely is. And I'm with you. They'll take a speeding ticket and keep acquiring a bigger bank account to pay those speeding tickets. Unless it is Andy Florence. We'll whip out bank accounts.
Yeah.
Well,
it's one of those cameras on the freeway that just snapped a picture of you and mailed you the ticket. So
dear. Yeah, it's wild to think of how many lawsuits that they are in right now. Is this like the 7th or 8th one, maybe 9th? I don't know. It's up there, and you've got like the government coming after them from antitrust.
Yes.
You've got the class action lawsuit out of Oregon for they're keeping commissions artificially high because they're taking such high referral fees from these agents that are pushing them the business. And then a bunch of other ones, the Compass Zillow lawsuit.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. There's so many lawsuits against them right now. It's like, what's going on? Like, what's the undercurrent that's causing this?
Yeah, it's like an energy has shifted or something.
Yes.
Well, and they own Follow Up Boss, which is a consumer relationships out for CRM.
That's caused a lot of headaches.
Yes.
They bought that. They paid $400 million for it.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
yeah. Yep.
And a CRM isn't worth $400 million. What they're doing is they bought the data.
Yep.
And they're telling agents, oh, you can go ahead and download all your data and delete it if you want to.
Yeah, I saw Earl
Mhm.
Samuelson just, yeah, exactly. That was the biggest crock ever. And it's like agents buy this. They believe this. Why do they trust them?
Well, they don't.
They don't.
Zillow's been lying to agents for years and years and years. I mean, at some point they said, "Oh, we're never going to be a brokerage." I mean, they literally said that on stage, and
They did.
we will never be a brokerage. And then like
a year later,
they were
we're
a
a
brokerage. So, and then obviously they're like, "Oh, well, things change and this, and that, and the other." But of course, yeah, all things change, or things change when things change. So
Exactly.
so the writing's on the wall. They're buying the data. You just like you said, a CRM is not worth $400 million, but they had enough traffic, they had enough agents that were on it, enough consumers that were on it, that was what was worth the money. Just like how they did with Redfin, how they buy Redfin's rental
million.
or their and then just close it up or I don't know what
paid
they did
Redfin to stop.
Yeah,
essentially,
to basically stop their site.
Yeah.
Just stop marketing for rentals
yeah.
and displaying rental data. Yeah, which there again, I mean, that's actually one of the things I feel like by an even more monopoly landslide is Zillow and their rental market, right? It's so much so that it's pretty much rental in most MLSs doesn't even exist that much anymore. It's all on Zillow.
So all these other big giant mortgage companies, are they behind it? Because
like
if Zillow is taking away mortgages, or they're building more mortgages, are they behind the lawsuit somehow? Where they've like, hey consumer, maybe you should file a lawsuit.
Yeah, they have like straw consumers to go to start these class actions.
Oh, and by the way, here's a brand new Chevy Tahoe here.
Just go to lawyers.com and fill out the forms. We'll guide you
Talk
through
to this guy.
But as an agent, if you don't click that little box in the MLS that syndicates your listing on ListHub,
oh boy,
that feeds Zillow, you're doomed. Your seller's going to take you out back of the woodshed and beat you to death.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice.
How many times do you publish a listing and then the seller's reaching out to you about photos that they found? They're screenshotting you on things from Zillow.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe the order, maybe description of the picture, what have you, right? It's just funny.
And now Zillow's got AI that tracks how long people stayed on what particular photo of your listing. So now they got this data. They go, you know what? They really like your kitchen or the backyard, and they got all this data. I don't know what you're going to do with it, but they're compiling all this data. They're not sharing it with the agent.
Not yet, right?
Yeah, well, not without you buying it, I would guess. Maybe they'll start their own data store,
or maybe they'll share it with their Premier and their Flex agents, so that when you get a lead, because we do some of that. We have a home report that goes out to homeowners, and anything that they look at, we're tracking the amount of time that they're on it, some of the the actions and behaviors that they take on it, and then we provide that insight and intel back to the agent. And so I'm wondering if Zillow is going to do that with their Flex and their Premier, so that the agent can say like, oh, I got this lead, and here's all the houses that they looked at on Zillow, and here's the ones that they spent extra time on. I'm feeling like they will. It's great business intelligence if you're working that lead.
Well, and even some level, being candid from my end, from a sales standpoint, is like Zillow Flex. First of all, a lot of those Zillow employees are calling and working those leads. And through that conversion process, it's actually a better experience for some of them, because now they can intelligently talk to them about kitchens. They can intelligently talk to them about certain features that they're checking on in the property. And then if that gets passed on to the agent, the chances of conversion are going to be higher, because it gives them something to talk about versus, hey, I just got your contact information. When do you plan on going to go check out 1234 Main Street? Right?
Yeah, and that's something that helps too with the consumer in that, most of the time it used to be that you'd get a Zillow lead that would come on your phone. You'd immediately call them and they go, "Who are you? Is this your listing?" No, I mean, I had somebody in Sun City. She called me. She says, "I want to talk to you about your listing on such and such street." And I said, "Well, I don't have a listing up there." "Yes, you do." I probably know, but no, I don't have. They're doing landscaping out front and they keep parking the landscaping truck in front of my house. You need to tell them not to park there. I said, "Ma'am, I don't even know what this house is. I don't have a landscaping truck. It's not my listing." "Yes, you're right there on Zillow, right in front of it. Your smiling face." I said, "Okay, I'll make a call." I mean,
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
okay. So, but they assume I
Yeah.
was advertising in that zip code. I pleaded them, "Please get me out of Sun City, please." And so they moved me to another area. It was horrible. And so they, I mean, I could write a book on the calls I was getting, but they just think, "Oh, Rick is associated with this. It's his listing." And so now, they see a list of different agents. They do have the actual listing agent in small print below the photo, but people don't pay attention to that.
No,
That was
they
one of the
don't.
other lawsuits that said, "Look, you're steering me towards an agent. It's not even a listing agent." No, you're the one that clicked the button that said contact an agent, not the agent.
Yep.
And, I mean, educate yourself on how a mouse works.
Or copy and paste the terms of service and throw it into AI and ask it to summarize it for you.
AI. Yeah, they're going to do that.
Very advanced.
Yeah. They probably won't. But
Yeah, that's my dad was a real estate broker, and it's so funny. This was back when the internet was just starting to get rolling, and at his house, he had dial-up.
oh yeah.
So he would go in, turn his computer on, and click to download the new listings for the day. Go in, make a cup of coffee, have breakfast, come back and look at the computer. Oh, it's almost done.
Oh my
I
goodness.
kept saying, Dad, there's a faster way. "Oh, I don't want to pay the extra money." "No, please let me walk you through this." He wouldn't touch it. Wouldn't touch
Wow.
it until
That's
he
such-
retired, and then he switched to broadband.
Oh,
And,
It's like
and
an
he had a
upgrade.
30% market share in that market too. I mean, he knew what he was doing.
wow.
Oh wow,
That's
That is-
30% market
That
share.
is sizable.
What?
Where at, Rick? Where did he sell?
Port Angeles, Washington.
Oh, very
He owned
cool.
the Coldwell Banker franchise in Port Angeles.
Oh, no kidding. That's awesome.
Yeah, he started with 2 agents and a card table in a building that they were leasing. He was a barber for 25 years. Then he got into real estate, and but he knew everybody. My mom hated going to the store with him because you just never get out.
Oh yeah. Oh, I
My
can
brother's
imagine.
the same way. He's a retired Pepsi truck driver. So you go into a store with him up there, and you just forget it. He knows everybody. So, but
That's cool.
anyway,
Cutting hair to cutting commissions.
That's right. So the Zillow battle it's going to be here as long as we're here.
Yes.
I think, and I don't think the consumers are going to really give a rat's hind end about what's really going on in the back end. But I think if they don't start cleaning some of this up, there's going to be an organized backlash from realtors somehow. These class action lawsuits, if they start coming from real estate agents, they'll have to pay attention, because now you got brokerages suing them. A lot of brokerages don't want to sue them because they're making too much money off of them.
Right.
There's that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just one more thing to watch in our wonderful world of real estate, isn't it?
It is.
It is. I thought of so Zillow just had like their industry event not too long ago.
Unlock.
Unlock. I think it was like a week ago. And Rob Hahn, he went and he just felt the vibe of the lobby. He didn't actually attend, but he wrote an article about it, and he called Zillow your wife's taller, richer boyfriend. And he talked to someone who dropped him a line that he quotes in this article. And it was essentially like, Zillow's already banging your wife, and they don't basically, why buy the cow when the milk and the cheese is free and plentiful? And it was Rob Hahn he's quite a character, but it was a really good write up. And it's just, it's interesting, the relationship that they have with the real estate industry. You know, they could be a brokerage. They don't want to be. They don't, or they are, but you know what I mean? Like they could have agents that work for them. They don't want to be. Why, when they get the cream of the crop that willingly go to them and pay them or give them 35% of their commission or more, and will willingly agree to use their preferred mortgage, use their
because
preferred
if
title
they were
company.
a broker, then the agents wouldn't want to pay them.
Yeah, right.
on,
Because
right?
agents just don't see a lot of value.
They don't
in
see a
it.
value in
to
broker.
take on agents with Zillow offers and all
Yeah,
that.
but they're
right?
paying
Those-
them like W-2 and stuff.
Yeah, yes, they were then.
Yeah.
But I mean, that obviously that's extinguished now. That was short lived. But
Yeah.
Well, they don't want the liability of having agents.
No.
Yeah.
no,
They-
as
they-
I say,
they just-
I-
They'd rather
Agents are
have your
humans.
brokerage have the liability, and they're just, hey, I didn't do that.
So true.
So, well, we'll continue to watch it. It's always great to hook up with you guys on a weekly basis, and we'll see what goes on after this week of data or lack thereof, and check up back with you
Yes.
next week and see if there's anything new and exciting in the real estate world.
All right, Rick.
Awesome. Thanks, Rick. Have
Thanks,
a great
Rick, for
week.
having us.
Thanks. You bet. Good to see you all. Take care.
Good to
Good to
see
see
you
you.
too. Bye-bye.